good old Kyle Rittenhouse, who is the Kenosha, Wisconsin killer, after, if y'all remember, this summer, late in the summer, you had the whole situation happen with the brother Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Which, by the way, I'm gonna get to that too, because in the midst of all of this going on, in the midst of it, people are not even really asking about, concerned about what happened with the brother Jacob Blake, what's going on with that situation. But anyway, so y'all remember the video where he was shot in the back 7 times by a police officer. It was some type of dispute going on. He goes around to his car, and they use that as an opportunity to shoot him in the back 7 times. So, after that happened, we already know what's going on this year. In terms of all of the, protests and everything behind George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all of the injustice that has been happening. So when that went down, you had a lot of people in Kenosha, especially the Black people in the community right after this happened, who came out and was visibly upset and, were pushing back against what ended up happening to him, where they paralyzed his brother. So, and they did it in front of his son on top of that. But anyway, so with that situation, you had Kyle Rittenhouse, who was a 17-year-old from Illinois, by the way, who went across state lines supposedly, people he knew or whatever, and called himself helping, quote, protect the community. Even though they have police, they have National Guard or whoever they need to call in, these militias, these white militias, thought it was appropriate for them to be out there, quote, protecting the community and protecting businesses. So anyway, for that, it was a video that went viral where you see him running and kind of like falling down, and then he takes his gun and he's shooting up, and you see him severely maim somebody with those shots. We come to find, and then he leaves the scene and all that good stuff, right? We find out that he actually killed 2 people and severely wounded another. So anyway, in the wake of that, you had the whole situation where he, quote, turned himself in. And so things got rolling from there. And you had him become a symbol for the right, symbol for white supremacists, a symbol for a lot of the Trump-type white people. So they upheld him as some type of martyr. They saw him as, doing something good. Even though he killed two people, 2 of them white people, they thought it was something good. So we don't get deep into that. But first, so I can catch y'all up on what actually now took place and why he's in the news, I'm going to read this article from the Chicago Tribune, which really goes into a lot of the different elements that we're going to break down today. So, Kyle Rittenhouse, the title, Kyle Rittenhouse, freed from Kenosha jail after attorneys post $2 million bail despite pleas from families of men he shot. Kyle Rittenhouse was released from jail in Wisconsin on Friday afternoon after his attorneys posted $2 million bail, setting the teenager free as he awaits trial for fatally shooting 2 men and wounding a third during summer protests in Kenosha, police said. His release came over the objections of family members and lawyers for 2 of the men he shot. They had asked for higher bail and voiced concerns Rittenhouse would flee, which his lawyers have said he would not. What else would they say? The 17-year-old's release was funded by donations sought by his attorneys who appeal to the political right, where Rittenhouse is popular. Those lawyers also are seeking to overturn Democratic President-elect Joe Biden's victory. An attorney set up the payment, and then a private security detail, okay, y'all? He gets private security and private bodyguards, okay? Transporting him from the jail about 2 p.m. Friday. 2 p.m. Friday, according to Sergeant David Wright of the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. One of Rittenhouse's attorneys, John Pierce, said previously that the bail money will come entirely from funds raised by a nonprofit that champions conservative causes, led by another of the team's attorneys, Ellen Wood. In a tweet Friday celebrating Rittenhouse's release, Wood thanked actor Ricky Schroeder and a Minnesota businessman aligned with President Donald Trump for, quote, putting us over the top. That businessman is the dude from My Pillow. Y'all probably have seen that damn commercial. Candace could not be reached for comment Friday afternoon. Rittenhouse spent the last 2.5 months in custody on a murder charge and other counts stemming from his shooting of 3 men with an AR-15 style rifle during protests August 25th. The chaotic demonstrations followed white police officer Rustin Shesky shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man, days earlier. Rittenhouse fatally shot Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 26. A third man, Gage Rosecruz, who prosecutors have said was armed with a handgun, survived being shot in the arm. Rittenhouse's attorneys have argued he shot all the men in self-defense. Rosecruz's lawyer, Kimberly Motley, said she was disappointed that Rittenhouse was bailed out, and she cited the seriousness of the charges and her belief that he might flee. She had argued at a recent online court hearing that his bail should have been $4 million. And so Kyle Rittenhouse took his behind out there and then thus got himself involved in the people that, as far as I know, everything that I know and have looked into, those were white people that he killed. 2 white men, I think one of them was Jewish. You know, even though Jewish is what, like, Jewish is a religion. Judaism is a religion, that's not a race, but y'all know how these people do, whatever. Anywho, 2 white men, and the third that he wounded severely is white. Okay? So, here's the thing. Essentially, that's what we always talk about over here, white on white crime, right? White on white crime gets brushed under the rug. It gets, people make excuses for it. They justify it in some type of way. It's legitimized in some type of way. So, actually, before I get too deep into that, I do actually want to give the update about Jacob Blake, because that's really important, and I don't want that to get lost in this whole equation. So some of the latest information that I could find, this is from CNN, and it actually was in October. This was October 7th. Okay. Jacob Blake is out of the hospital. It was updated Wednesday, October 7th. Jacob Blake is out of the hospital, but how long he'll be in rehab remains a question. Jacob Blake has left Milwaukee Hospital, but he's still working to recover after being shot several times by Kenosha, Wisconsin police. His attorney said Wednesday. The 29-year-old is in a spinal injury rehabilitation center in Chicago. Attorney Patrick Cafferty said, I can't provide more details. He declined to say when Blake left the hospital or how long he is expected to remain in rehab. After Blake was shot multiple times during an altercation with police in August, his family initially said he was paralyzed from the waist down, and it is unclear if the condition was permanent. After Trump later said it would take a miracle for Blake to walk again. Blake suffered injuries to his arm, kidney, liver, and spinal cord, according to Patrick Salvey Jr., another family attorney. He had a bullet go through some or all of his spinal cord, at least one bullet. He has holes in his stomach. He had to have nearly his entire colon and small intestines removed, Salvey said in August. Wow. Blake asked upon regaining consciousness in the hospital was why he had been shot so many times. So basically, it kind of does go on to talk about his dad, what his dad had to say, and kind of the details of the case that I kind of already broke down. I'll read this part here, though. In August, Blake delivered a message from his hospital bed reminding his supporters that life can change in an instant. Your life, and not only just your life, your legs, something that you need to move around, to move forward in life, can be taken like this man, he said, snapping his fingers. Blake had staples in his back and stomach at the time and said his pain was constant. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to sleep. It hurts to move side to side. It hurts to eat, he said. You do not want to have to deal with it. Days earlier, he found a dress shirt and tie for his first court appearance on charges related to an alleged. I'm not even getting into it because I don't even know why that. I'm not even getting into it. That don't have nothing to do with what happened to this man. That this man was shot 7 times in the back and paralyzed. So, but that's how they always got to do it. It's got to always be some other reason, something else thrown in the mix. So, but purely based upon where he's at, that's the latest I could find. I don't know of anything else that's happening with the actual police officer, with the actual police department, or any of those issues. It pretty much seems like that's off the table. I guess we'll to be continued. I'll, try to keep updated on it and let y'all know if anything else comes across. But anyway, okay, so now we got that. Let's get back into this Kyle Rittenhouse situation. All right, so it was a few things I read in the article, and I was like, hang on to that. We're going to come back to that. So let's start here. Like I said, me and Psycho, we always talk about white on white crime and all of that. And that's what this situation is. However, we want to draw some parallels to if Kyle Rittenhouse was a 17-year-old black young man. What would have happened then? What would have been some differences? What Kyle Rittenhouse's white privilege landed him in this whole scenario? And you got all these people out here constantly telling us we're making up racism, we're making up white supremacy, we're making up white privilege, that we're doing all of these types of things. And this stuff happens every day. This just happens to be a high-profile case where you see this come about. Now, the first thing that stunned me about this whole thing is, why does he have a veil? When you look up a lot of cases of black people who ended up killing somebody, they don't get a bail. They don't give them no millions of bail. I'm not saying that never happens, but it's very common for black people in this type of situation where this dude took out 2 people and shot another one. You're not getting no damn bail. This is a very serious case, a very serious situation to deal with. Now, one of the other things that really boggled my mind, I mean it didn't, I know what it is, but the prosecutors asked for $2 million bail. Why didn't the prosecutors ask for no bail? They talk about how serious this case is. They talk about, he could be a flight risk. But then you ask for bail? For somebody who broke the law, he shouldn't have had no gun in the first place. That was illegal. Who crossed state lines, who claimed self-defense, but the people that he killed was shown not to have no weapons or nothing. And the person they claimed had a handgun on him was a dude who lived. That he still shot his arm off. So where is the self-defense? So wait a minute. You can get in a scuffle with somebody and it's okay for them to pull a gun out and blow your brains out? Like, that's okay? Like, that's legit to happen? And then y'all turn around and say, let's give them $2 money. People that don't mind raising money. Just like we see happen with Darren Wilson and Dylan Bruce and all these other people. They raised tons of money. Tons of money after they was arrested for doing what they did. So just because you say $2 million, that's not some impossible sum. When you talking about white supremacists, when you talking about these white people in general, let's keep that a buck. And then you talking about these right-wing people that's sitting up here like this damn Ann Coulter talking about, I want him to be my president. And you think he wouldn't be able to come up with $2 million to bail out? Really? So the fact that you even asked for bail, it already shows the inequality in the system. It already shows that they were already on his side and in his direction because they knew he could get their money. Then you had one of the fathers of one of the men that was actually killed, and he's talking about $10 million. $10 million? No. I want no bail. Now let's get into a couple other things with this. So you had Ricky Schroeder, who was a child actor, and I guess did other acting when he was an adult or whatever. Okay. You had the dude from My Pillow. Okay. They are the ones who put it over the top. From what I understand, I think Ricky Schroeder gave over $100,000 himself. I mean, let's think about how much money $2 million. That's a lot of money. Because they had to pay the full amount. That's a lot of money. That ain't no little money. That's a lot of money. And so these people, let's think about this for a minute. They were willing to put their name, their face, their reputation on the line to get this dude out of jail. To bail him out. They was willing to do that for him. The My Pillow dude is supposed to be this Christian. He's supposed to be so Christian and such a godly man. Well, last time I checked, that's my kid. I thought that was a commit. I thought. So, aren't these the very same people? Let all the facts come out, let all the evidence. So let his ass sit in jail until the trial. You so godly, but what about the people that was killed, though? They didn't have no weapons. How was what he did righteous and him defending himself? That's bullshit. And, all the time, men get into scuffles. They might get into a fist fight with each other. But what does this have to do with a damn? What does this have to do with literally killing two people? And I think one of them, he literally shot in the head. Like, what does that have to do with that? Now, I read in the article about his mom, Wendy Rittenhouse, who was a total damn idiot. She's running around in interviews defending her son. He's not racist. And she's out of her damn mind. Oh, man, or whatever the hell, I don't know. Okay, I'm sure. But let's talk about his mom too, right? And let's talk about the parallels. Because, like I already said, if he was black, wouldn't have been no bail. So that's out the gate. I don't care what anybody. It wouldn't have been no bail. Wouldn't have been no bail. That's off rip. Too much of a serious situation. People's lives lost. No bail. Okay. His mom. She kidnapped. She hit $100,000. She cleaned up. You think that's all the money she done got? They done raised $2 million to get her son out. And I'm sure he got hella period. Okay? But Carmel, he go out there. He out there, right? All this stuff go down. No bail, none of that. Everybody, where's his dad?